I wake up to the shrill ring of my alarm just like any other Monday. The room is a familiar clutter of crumpled clothes and books, evidence of the weekend just passed. I roll over, expecting to see Emily's sleeping face, but her side of the bed is empty, the sheets cold. She's an early riser, always has been. I shuffle to the kitchen, where the smell of fresh coffee pulls me forward. Emily stands by the window, her robe loosely tied, staring out into our unkempt backyard. "Morning," I say, voice still heavy with sleep. She turns, offers a distracted smile, and returns her gaze outside. "Busy day at the gallery?" I ask as I pour myself a cup. She nods, murmurs something about a new exhibition. There's a stiffness in her, a distance that's grown over the months, subtle but persistent. I've tried to bridge it, unsure if it's the fatigue of her job or something deeper. The rest of the morning passes in routine silence, the kind that settled between us like an unwelcome guest. I leave for work, a short drive to the small law firm where I've become a fixture over the last 15 years. The cases are mundane, but they keep my mind occupied, away from the nagging concerns of what's become of us. Returning home, the mailbox greets me with its usual mix of bills and junk. But today, tucked between a grocery flyer and an insurance advert, is an unmarked envelope. Curiosity piqued, I tear it open to find 2 plane tickets to Spain and a note scrawled in rushed handwriting. "She's leaving you. See for yourself." My heart hammers in my chest. Spain? Why Spain? The thought circles as I stand frozen on the driveway, the evening chill beginning to seep through my jacket. 1,000 questions push against the walls of my mind, each demanding an answer I'm not sure I want to know. Dinner is a quiet affair. Emily talks about her day, the artists, the successful sales. Her words float around me, weightless and distant. The envelope burns a hole in my pocket. I want to confront her, to throw down the tickets and demand the truth. But fear roots me in place. Fear of what it might mean, what it might change. After dinner, she retreats to her studio, a space filled with canvases and the heavy scent of paint that's become her refuge. I follow, lingering at the doorway. "Emily," I start, my voice firmer than I feel. "We need to talk." She doesn't turn, her focus on a half-finished piece that looks nothing like her usual work. "About?" Her tone is guarded, careful. I hold up the tickets, the paper trembling in my grip. "About this. About us. What's happening, Emily?" She pauses, brush suspended in air, then slowly lays it down. Turning to face me, there's a weariness in her eyes that I hadn't noticed before, or maybe I had chosen not to see. "Mark, Her voice trails off and she looks past me, perhaps searching for words that won't come, or for a way out she can't find. The room feels colder, the distance between us more profound than the few steps that separate us. Tonight, everything changes. I know it, and so does she. After confronting Emily with the tickets, she turns away, her shoulders tense. The room is heavy with the scent of turpentine and unanswered questions. "We need to talk, Emily. What's going on?" She hesitates, then sighs, a long, weary exhalation that seems to carry the weight of our 27 years. I, I'm leaving, Mark. I'm sorry. I'm going to Spain with Arthur." Arthur, her art teacher. My mind races, the pieces slotting together all too late. The extra classes, the weekend workshops. I had been blind. With him? Why? My voice cracks, the words barely a whisper. "It's not just about him," she says, turning to face me now. Her eyes are wet, her voice steady. "It's about me, about what I need. I haven't been happy, Mark. Not for a long time." The confession stings, slicing through the last shreds of denial. "And you couldn't talk to me? You choose to just destroy everything." "We've been drifting apart for years," she replies. "You must have felt it too." I had, but I'd buried it, hidden behind daily routines and superficial conversations. Now, with everything laid bare, the truth is as cold and sharp as the blade of a knife. The following days are a blur of anger and disbelief. I move through them numb, my actions automatic. At work, I handle cases with a mechanical efficiency, my mind elsewhere. At home, I pore over the emails and photos I find on her computer, each one a hammer blow to the remnants of our marriage. They are intimate, erotic, heartbreaking in their joy and abandonment. I confront her again, this time with the emails printed out, spread across the kitchen table like evidence in a trial. How long, Emily? She doesn't deny it this time. 6 months. It started last spring. Why didn't you just end it with me first? My voice is hoarse, the hurt manifesting as anger now. Because I was scared, she admits. Scared of hurting you. Scared of being alone. And now, I challenge, my hands clenched into fists at my sides. Now I'm more afraid of staying and never feeling truly alive. Her words are a liberation and a condemnation all at once. She's leaving, really leaving. The finality of it hits me, a physical blow that bends me double. I spend the next few nights at a friend's house, my thoughts a tangled mess of memories and regrets. But a plan begins to form, born of desperation and a need to understand, to see for myself the life she's chosen over ours. I book my flight to Spain, the departure date a looming marker of the end of our life together. The decision feels like stepping off a cliff, a mix of fear and adrenaline. The journey is long, each mile taking me further from the life I knew. I land in Spain with a heart full of dread, armed with an address scribbled on a scrap of paper, her new world. Tracking her down proves difficult. The address leads me to an art studio in the heart of Barcelona, but she's not there. I want a stranger in the windows of vivid colors and whispered conversations. My questions, asked in halting Spanish, lead me in circles. Finally, I find her. It's almost by accident in a small cafe tucked away on a narrow street. She's with him, laughing, her hand on his arm. Seeing her like this, radiant and unguarded, is a different kind of pain. I approach, heart. The confrontation I've rehearsed so many times, suddenly real. She turns, her smile fading when she sees me. Mark, what are you doing here? We need to talk now. My voice is firm, cutting through the ambient noise of the cafe. Arthur stands, his expression wary. Is there a problem? Yes, I say, my gaze fixed on Emily. There is. Our conversation is charged with emotion. She tries to explain. Words fall flat between us. I see her differently now through the veil of her betrayal and my own grief. See, woman, I love this, yes, dear life we shared. It all seems like a distant dream, distorted. As I leave the shop, the weight of my wedding ring oppressive on my finger, I know what I must do, the path forward. Solitary. It's a journey of healing and rediscovery. But it starts with letting go of the past. The sun sets over Barcelona as I walk back to my hotel. This kind of blaze of orange and pink. Tomorrow, I'll start anew. But tonight, the morning, the end of us, I'm walking the streets of Barcelona. The morning after the confrontation. A map in one hand and a creeping sense. Every step feels like a march towards an uncertain confrontation. Yet I'm propelled by the need to see things through, to win some semblance of truth in this tangled mess. My first gallery where Emily claimed to be working on a new project with Arthur. The gallery is Bernity among the shoulder stone buildings, a stark glass structure reflecting the morning sun. Inside the sun, it's a cool and quiet zone. The air tinged with the scent of paint and varnish. It's just sounds on. I approach the reception, showing a picture of Emily and Arthur. Have you seen this woman? My Spanish is clumsy, the words awkward in my mouth. The receptionist, a young woman with sharp eyes, studies the photo. See, they were here, but not anymore. She's dismissive, turning her attention back to her screen. I press for more information. Where can I find them now? My tone is more desperate than I intend. She hesitates, then scribbles an address on a piece of paper, pushing it across the counter without meeting my eyes. Try here. They might be there. The address leads me to a studio on the outskirts of the city. It's more of a warehouse, large and somewhat run down. As I approach, the sound of laughter and music spills out of an open window. I peek inside to see Emily and Arthur, surrounded by a group of people, all of them seemingly entranced by the creation of art. Emily's laughter, once music to my ears, now stings. I enter, unnoticed at first. When Emily sees me, her smile fades and the room quiets, the atmosphere shifting palpably. Arthur steps forward, his posture defensive. Mark, why are you here? His tone is not welcoming. I came for answers, I say, my gaze fixed on Emily. I deserve that much. The confrontation is tense, voices raised and words sharp. Emily tries to explain her feelings, her need for change, but it all sounds like excuses. Amid the heated exchange, a woman from the group with striking features and an intense gaze approaches me. "You shouldn't be alone in this," she whispers, handing me a small folded note. Later, in the quiet of a small park, I open the note. It's an invitation to meet her tonight at a local bar. Something about her, maybe the concern in her eyes or the promise of an ally, compels me to accept. That night, the bar is dimly lit and intimate. She's there, waiting. "I'm Lucia," she introduces herself, her voice a soft murmur over the hum of conversation. We talk, and slowly she unfolds her own story of betrayal and loss. It's not just commiseration, it's an offering of understanding, of solace. The connection is unexpected, her presence both soothing and intoxicating. As the night deepens, so does our conversation. Lucia's insights into love and betrayal cut through the chaos of my thoughts, offering a new perspective. There's an undeniable attraction, the first spark of something new, kindled in the midst of my turmoil. The night ends with a tender, yet passionate embrace, a moment of surrender to the feelings we've stirred in each other. In the days that follow, Lucia becomes my guide, not just through the streets of Barcelona, but through the maze of my emotions. She helps me track Emily and Arthur, not to confront them again, but to understand the full extent of their relationship, to see the reality beyond my pain. We discover that Arthur is not just a lover. He's using Emily's connections for his own gain, involved in dubious art dealings that Emily seems unaware of. Armed with this knowledge, I'm faced with a decision: expose him to save Emily or let her go completely, a part of her always shrouded in my mistrust. The decision torments me, nights spent in restless thought, days shadowed by indecision. But as I learn to lean on Lucia, her strength lends me clarity. I choose to confront Emily, one last time, not in anger but with the evidence of Arthur's deceit. The final confrontation is less explosive, more resigned. Emily is shocked, her illusion shattered. Arthur's facade crumbles under the weight of proof. Though there's little satisfaction in it, there's a sense of closure, of justice in seeing him exposed. As I walk away from the studio that last time, the burden of my old life begins to lift. The streets of Barcelona, once alien and hostile, now seem filled with possibility. Lucia's hand in mine, I start to imagine a life not defined by the betrayal that brought me here, but by the healing that followed. The journey has been harrowing, but as the sun sets over the city, casting long shadows and bathing the streets in a warm, golden light, I feel the first true stirrings of hope. The cell door slams shut with a finality that echoes off the cold stone walls. I'm alone, the dim light barely reaching the corners of the small, damp space. The stark reality of my situation sets in. I'm imprisoned in a foreign country, caught up in a mess that's far bigger than my personal heartbreak. Sitting on the hard, unforgiving bunk, I replay the events that led me here. The confrontation with Arthur turned violent faster than I could have anticipated. He had more to lose than just Emily, it seems. The fight was chaotic, loud, the kind of noise that attracts attention. And it did. The police arrived as we were still entangled, shouts filling the air. Arthur was quick to play the victim, his fluency in Spanish giving him the upper hand. I tried to explain, to tell them about his deceit, about my quest for truth. But my broken Spanish and foreign status made me the immediate suspect. They didn't listen. They didn't understand. Or they chose not to. The night drags on, each minute stretching into eternity. My thoughts are a whirlpool, sucking me deeper into despair. What about Emily? Does she even know where I am? Does she care? The thought is a dagger in my chest. The woman I loved, the woman I thought I knew. Could she really just stand by and watch this happen? Memories of our life together flicker before my eyes, unbidden. The soft warmth of her smile on our first date. The feel of her hand in mine as we promised forever. The shared laughter and whispered dreams. How did we get here? How did the love we had morph into this nightmare? I'm roused from my reverie by the sound of footsteps. The door opens, and a guard stands there, a silhouette against the harsh light from the hallway. "You have a visitor," he grunts, and something in his tone doesn't promise anything good. I'm led to a small, bleak room. There she is, Lucia. She looks different here, her usual vibrancy dimmed by the fluorescent lights, but her eyes are the same, intense and determined. "I heard what happened," she starts, her voice low. "I came as soon as I could." Her presence is a balm to my frayed nerves. She explains that she's spoken to a lawyer, a friend of hers who owes her a favor. "He's good. He'll get you out of this mess," she assures me. There's a strength about her, a fierce protectiveness that I hadn't fully appreciated before. As she talks, her hand finds mine, her touch gentle but firm. There's a connection between us, something that's been simmering beneath the surface of our recent companionship. I realize then that I'm not alone in this. Lucia is with me, not just physically here, but emotionally too. It's a revelation that stirs a mix of gratitude and something deeper, a fledgling desire that's both exciting and terrifying. She doesn't leave until they make her. Her last look is one of promise. Promise that this isn't over, that she'll be back, that we'll fight this together. Back in my cell, fortified by Lucia's visit, I feel a renewed sense of purpose. I can't give up. Not now. Not when there might be a chance to clear my name, to expose Arthur for the fraud he is. I spend the rest of the night planning, thinking through every conversation, every piece of evidence that could help my case. The trial comes quicker than I expect. The courtroom is a blur of faces, the proceedings a cacophony of legal terms and arguments. Lucia's lawyer friend is a force, his arguments sharp, his presence commanding. He paints a clear picture of Arthur's manipulation and deceit, highlighting my pursuit of truth, my reasons for being in Spain. Arthur is there too, his confidence shaken as his lies unravel. Emily is there as well, a specter of my past life, watching the proceedings with an unreadable expression. Our eyes meet across the crowded room, and for a moment I see the flicker of the woman I once knew, the woman I thought I'd spend my life with. There's sorrow there, regret maybe, but it's too late for what-ifs. The judge's verdict is a relief, a validation of my innocence, a public acknowledgement of Arthur's guilt. The charges against me are dropped, and just like that, I'm free. But the freedom tastes bittersweet. There's no joy in this victory, not really. As I step out of the courtroom, Lucia is there, her smile wide, her relief palpable. "Let's get out of here," she says, and it's the best idea I've heard in days. We leave the courthouse together, stepping out into the sunlight. It's warm, the light bright and clear. I feel its warmth on my face, and I close my eyes for a moment, letting it sink in. When I open them, I'm not just looking at Lucia. I'm seeing her, really seeing her, for the first time. There's a future there, a possibility of something new, something real. "We have a lot to talk about," I say, my voice steady. "Yes, we do," she agrees, her hand in mine as we start walking, leaving the shadows of the courthouse behind, stepping into the light of a new beginning. Now, with Arthur's criminal activities exposed and my innocence confirmed, the remnants of my former life begin to feel like a distant memory. I focus on rebuilding, finding solace in the vibrant streets of Barcelona, a city that once felt alien but now offers a canvas of possibilities. Lucia and I dive into the intricacies of unraveling Arthur's deceitful empire. It's a tangled web of forged artworks and illicit deals, stretching from Barcelona to beyond. Each piece of evidence we uncover, each connection we make, brings a sense of justice, a righting of wrongs that goes beyond personal vendetta. Our days are long, filled with meetings with lawyers and police, nights spent poring over documents and photographs. Lucia is relentless, her passion for justice matching her passion for life. Her strength bolsters me, keeps me grounded when the ghosts of my past life threaten to pull me under. As the case against Arthur solidifies, the media catch wind of the scandal. It's a story ripe for the headlines. A respected art teacher, a clandestine affair, a trail of deceit and betrayal. I watch from the sidelines as the story unfolds in the public eye. My role a footnote in a larger drama that once consumed my every waking moment. In the quiet moments when the weight of the past years presses down on me, Lucia is there. She understands the unspoken grief that lingers, the mourning of a life I thought I'd live. Our relationship deepens, rooted in shared adversity, blossoming into something profound and life-affirming. It's in these moments, away from the chaos of the legal battles and the public scrutiny, that we explore the new bond between us. Our connection is no longer just about companionship in the face of adversity. It's about understanding, acceptance, and a shared vision of the future. The evenings we spend together become a sanctuary. We talk about everything and nothing, our conversations meandering from the art of recovery to the art of living. Lucia teaches me to appreciate the beauty of the moment, the art that surrounds us, not just on canvas but in everyday life. We explore the city, finding hidden gems in crowded markets and quiet corners of bustling plazas. One night, as we walk along the beach, the city lights a soft glow against the dark sky. Lucia stops and faces me. Her eyes reflect the starlight, and her voice is a whisper against the sound of the waves. "What will you do now?" she asks, her hand finding mine. "I want to start fresh," I say, the idea taking shape as I speak. "Maybe open a small cafe, create a place that feels like home." The thought of a new beginning, something entirely mine, something born out of the ashes of my past, fills me with a tentative hope. Lucia's smile is encouraging, her squeeze of my hand reassuring. "I think that's a wonderful idea," she says. "A place where art meets life, where stories can unfold over coffee and pastries." The idea grows, fueled by our shared enthusiasm. We spend nights sketching out plans, imagining a quaint cafe with local art on the walls, live music filling the air, a little oasis in the heart of Barcelona. As the trial against Arthur concludes with his conviction, the closure it brings is palpable. It's not just a legal resolution, it's a personal one. My role in the scandal fades into the background, a chapter closed in the book of my life. With Arthur behind bars, the media attention gradually wanes, allowing me to focus on the future. The cafe becomes more than a dream. It becomes a project, a reality taking shape with each passing day. Lucia and I pour our hearts into this new venture. She's by my side as we pick out decor, sample coffees and pastries, hire staff. It's a labor of love, a testament to our journey and our recovery from the wounds of betrayal. On the day of the cafe's opening, the air is crisp, a gentle breeze wafting through the open doors. Friends, new and old, fill the space, their laughter and chatter a melody that warms my heart. I stand behind the counter, serving coffee with a smile, the past a distant shadow that no longer holds sway over my heart. As the day winds down, Lucia joins me behind the counter, her presence a constant source of joy. "How does it feel?" she asks, a twinkle in her eye. "It feels like coming home," I reply, my gaze sweeping over the little cafe, our creation. Not just to a place, but to myself, to us. We share a look, a moment of quiet understanding and profound connection. The journey here hasn't been easy, fraught with heartache and battles both legal and personal. But standing here, with Lucia, in our cafe, our sanctuary, I know that every step, every challenge, was a path leading to this moment. The cafe thrives, becoming a beloved spot in the neighborhood. It's a place where stories are shared, where laughter mingles with the clink of coffee cups, where music dances through the air. It's a new beginning, a place of healing and happiness. As I close the cafe late one evening, the last customer gone, the final note of a guitar lingering in the air, I lock the door and turn to Lucia. "Thank you," I say, my voice thick with emotion, "for everything." She smiles, her eyes shining with tears and joy. "No, thank you," she replies, "for showing me that even after the storm, the sun can shine brighter than ever." We walk away together, the cafe behind us, the streets of Barcelona alive with the night's promise. Hand in hand, we step forward, ready to face whatever comes next together. Months have passed since the trial, and the bustling streets of Barcelona have become my new normal. The cafe is thriving, filled with the murmur of conversations and the rich aroma of coffee. But today is different. Today I'm closing early. Today I meet Emily for the last time. I lock the cafe's door, flipping the sign to closed. My hands tremble slightly, not from fear, but from a culmination of all the emotions I've wrestled with since she left. I take a deep breath, trying to steady myself. The walk to our meeting spot, a quiet park where we once celebrated our 10th anniversary, feels surreal. Each step is a measured attempt to control the whirlwind inside me. As I approach the park, I see her sitting on a bench, her silhouette familiar yet distinctly foreign after all these months apart. She stands as I approach, her posture tense, uncertain. "Mark," she greets, her voice soft, almost lost against the rustle of the leaves. "Emily." My reply is just as quiet. We sit, the bench now a neutral zone in the park's calm. She looks different, older, perhaps, or just marked by the same sorrows that have aged me. "How are you?" she asks, a question so mundane it borders on absurdity given our circumstances. "I've been better," I confess, not wanting to veil the truth with pleasantries. "But I'm getting there. The cafe is doing well." She nods, looking past me for a moment before her eyes meet mine again. "I heard about the cafe. It sounds wonderful." There's a hint of genuine pride in her voice, which surprises me. "I wanted to see you," I start, hesitant, "to finalize what we already know. To end our marriage, not just on paper, but in every way that counts." Emily's eyes fill with tears, but she doesn't look away. "I know. I'm so sorry, Mark, for everything." Her apology hangs between us, heavy and inadequate. Yet it's clear it's the only one I'll get, the only one she can offer. I've learned a lot about myself these past months, about what I want, what I need. I can't be the person who holds on to anger. I won't be. She reaches out, her hand brushing mine, a fleeting touch charged with a shared history. "Can we just sit for a while?" she asks. So we sit in silence, together yet apart, looking out at the park that once symbolized our unity. It's peaceful, and slowly, the tightness in my chest eases. I realize that this quiet reckoning is what I needed. A gentle closure, one not wrought with accusations or tears, but with the silent acknowledgement of our shared past and divergent futures. After a while, she speaks again. "I'm staying in Spain," she says. "Not with Arthur. He's out of my life. But I've found something here, something I can't leave." "I'm staying too," I tell her. "The cafe, it's my new beginning. It's given me purpose." "I'm glad," she says, and I believe her. We talk a bit more, about trivial things, about the park, about mutual friends. It's strangely comforting, this simple conversation, a soft landing for our goodbye. When it's time to leave, we stand, the finality of the moment pressing down on us. "Goodbye, Emily," I say, my voice steady. "Goodbye, Mark," she replies, her smile sad but sincere. She walks away first, her figure receding into the park's greenery, becoming just another part of my past. I stay a moment longer, watching the space, allowing myself this last connection to our history. Wait, my wedding ring suddenly absent from my finger, left purposefully on the bench where walking back to the cafe. The city doesn't seem as daunting nor as foreign. It feels like home, a place weather the greatest storm of my life and come out stronger on the other side. But as I reopen the cafe, adjusting the chairs, preparing for another evening rush, I think about what the future holds. There is a sense in not knowing, a thrill and possibility that lies ahead. Lucia will join me later, and together we'll plan for an event at the cafe. Her presence has become a cornerstone of my new life. Her strength and passion, inspiration, reflecting on the journey from the beginning of betrayal to the quiet strength of rebirth. I realize that the profound transformation within me, love, trust, and betrayal have all reshaped me, but they haven't defined me. What defines me is the ability to move forward, to embrace the unknown with optimism and hope. The cafe fills again, the buzz of conversation, the soothing backdrop to my thoughts. As I serve another customer, my heart is light. I am free from the past, anchored in the present, and optimistic about the future. This is not just a new chapter in my life, and as I wipe down the counter, preparing a latte with the practiced ease of Content, ito truly content. For the first time in year, the evening breeze flutters through the open windows of the cafe, carrying with it the distant sounds of Barcelona's nightlife. It's late, and the last customers left, their laughter still echoing softly as I begin to close up. The warm glow of the street lamps casts a soft light over the wooden tables, now empty but still holding the residue of the day's interactions. Coffee cups with traces of froth, crumpled napkins, and dessert plates smeared with the remnants of pastries. As I wipe down the counter, my thoughts drift to the journey that has brought me here, to this moment of quiet reflection. It has been a tumultuous path, marked by heartbreak and betrayal, but also by unexpected discoveries about myself and what it means to truly live. Reflecting on everything, the most profound lesson I've learned is about resilience, the kind that's forged in the fires of adversity. From the shock of discovering Emily's affair to the depths of despair in a foreign jail, each challenge has taught me about my own strength and the incredible capacity of the human spirit to overcome. The journey has also reshaped my understanding of love. I've come to realize that love is not just about the joyous moments shared with someone special, but also about the ability to let go, to wish well for the other, even when paths diverge. Emily and I loved deeply, but we grew apart. And though our ending was fraught with pain, it led me to new beginnings. Now as I stand in my cafe, a project born from the ashes of my old life, I feel a sense of accomplishment. This place is more than just a business. It's a sanctuary for those seeking a pause from the rush of life, a community space where art and culture meet the comfort of a good coffee. It symbolizes my recovery, my acceptance of change, and my embrace of the new. Lucia, who has been instrumental in this journey, shares this space with me, not just physically, but in every decision, every success, and every challenge we face. Our relationship, which began in the throes of mutual heartbreak and need, has blossomed into a partnership built on trust, respect, and a deep understanding of each other's worlds. As I lock up for the night and step out into the cool air, I pause to look back at the cafe. Its windows glow softly against the night, a beacon of warmth. Lucia waits for me at the corner, her smile a promise of a shared future. We walk home together, her hand in mine, comfortable in the silence that speaks of deep familiarity and contentment. The city around us is alive with possibilities. We talk about our plans for the cafe, about hosting local artists and musicians, about starting a book club, and even about the potential of opening another location. Every new idea feels like a step forward, a step towards a future that once seemed unattainable. As we reach our apartment, the moon hangs low in the sky, casting a silver glow over the rooftops of Barcelona. Inside, the quiet is welcoming. Lucia heads to the kitchen to make us a late-night snack, while I go to the balcony, looking out over the city that has become my home. Here, amidst the gentle sounds of the night, I reflect on the concept of home. It's no longer just a place but a feeling, a sense of belonging, whether to a person, a community, or even to oneself. In this city, with Lucia, in our cafe, I have found a new version of home. Thinking about the future, I feel a surge of hope. There is much to look forward to, much to build upon. The scars of the past will always be part of me, but they no longer define me. Instead, they are testaments to my ability to grow, to adapt, and to thrive. As Lucia joins me on the balcony, her presence a comforting reminder of how far we've both come, I realize that this is not the end of my story, but the beginning of a new chapter. One where trust, love, and redemption are not just possible, but are flourishing. Together we watch the city, the twinkling lights, the distant sounds of life. And in this moment, I understand that every end is just a new beginning. And as the narrative of my old life concludes, the story of my new life is just starting to unfold, promising adventures, love, and the infinite joy of discovery.